picture-perfect family, the Hart children, Marcus, Hannah, Devonte, Abigail, Jeremiah, and Sierra, were all found dead, along with their parents Jennifer and Sarah, after their car plunged off a cliff. But long before it came to this, the children had made desperate pleas for help, cries that went unheard until it was too late.
It was a very confusing scene because there were no skid marks, there were no brake marks.
On March 26, 2018, an SUV was spotted in the Pacific Ocean, 100 feet below a cliff in Northern California. Investigators soon found the bodies of Jennifer and Sarah Hart and 3 of their adopted children, but their other 3 kids were still missing, including 15-year-old Devonte.
Jennifer and Sarah Hart were born just months apart in 1979, and both come from South Dakota. Jennifer had 2 siblings, while Sarah had 3, and they both grew up as the oldest in their families. Sarah was the quiet one, the responsible rule follower who didn't make much noise. Not much is known about her early life, but she was often described as reserved and thoughtful. Jennifer, on the other hand, was the total opposite. She was full of life, always the center of attention, and never afraid to speak her mind. She was confident, funny, and sometimes even a bit abrasive. Jennifer's parents divorced when she was young, and she mostly lived with her mom. But at 14, after a big argument, she moved in with her dad. That didn't last long, though. She was a bit of a rebel and started pushing boundaries. Her dad couldn't handle it, and soon enough, she was sent back to live with her mom. That was just the way Jennifer's life was, full of energy and not afraid to challenge the rules. Fast forward to 2002, Sarah and Jennifer started dating in college while attending Northern State University. Both wanted to be educators. Sarah focused on special education, and Jennifer aimed to be a teacher as well. But, true to their contrasting personalities, Sarah stayed the course, graduated, while Jennifer ended up dropping out. In 2004, they moved to Minnesota, and they had already started their journey into parenthood. By 2005, Sarah had changed her last name to Hart. They both found work in retail, but they were still hiding their relationship from those around them. To family and friends, they were just best friends and roommates. They took in their first foster child, a 15-year-old girl named Lee. Lee, who is now in her 20s, has shared her story about what happened back in 2004. Friends of Jennifer and Sarah came forward later, saying that Jennifer claimed the 15-year-old Lee was eating out of the trash. One day, when they were taking Lee to her therapy appointment, the Hart women drove up, got her out of the car, and watched as she went into the building. Then, they simply drove away and never came back. Lee later said that she had no idea this was happening until her therapist told her she wouldn't be returning to Jennifer and Sarah's home. Instead, she was going to a new foster home. When she arrived at her new foster parents' house, all her stuff was already there, which made it clear that Jennifer and Sarah had planned to leave her behind all along. Lee had believed she would stay with them until she was 18. She also insisted she never ate out of the trash, and even if she did, it wouldn't justify what happened next. It was also reported that Jennifer and Sarah Hart claimed Lee was suicidal, and they didn't want that kind of negative energy around their adopted children. Not long after abandoning Lee, in 2006,